Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Elevate Your Designs with Chaos, V-Ray and Enscape. My name's Lee Phillips. I am UK Sales Director for NTI, based out here in the UK. Delighted to have with us today Alex, Farhan and Ivan from Chaos Group. We've been working with the Chaos Group now personally I've been working with them for over 20 years, so since the early days of V-Ray. But it's great to have these guys here that are going to be talking to you about, some of the new changes that have come out in V-Ray and in Enscape, and some of those additional tool sets that are around in the collections now that you may or may not be aware of. Before we start, I've got house rules. Next slide, please.
Yes.
Just everyone is all in mute mode. Questions, if you've got any questions, the Q&A panel is open. We are being recorded to be shared afterwards, and we do have a quick survey at the end, which we will be would love if you would fill out for us. So with that said, let's bring in Ivan into the conversation. So Ivan, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit and a bit about Chaos for those that don't know?
Absolutely. Thank you, Lee. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. It's a pleasure to be here and speak to you with the Chaos team and NTI. I'm Ivan, channel manager at Chaos. So my role is to work closely with NTI in best serving their clients for the Chaos tools. Let me start with a bit of intro about Chaos. We are a world leader in 3D visualization technology, serving users across different industries, AEC, but also product design, manufacturing, media, and entertainment. Now, our commitment, our main purpose is to create an ecosystem of products that serve architects and designers and 3D artists across every stage of their project, every stage of their visualization workflow. Back in the day, visualization was something you would do at the final stage of your project. You'd end up with a nice image to use for marketing purposes, whereas nowadays it's something that's integrated across every step of the way, from early ideation throughout design development until final photorealistic rendering. I'm also glad that today we are hosting this webinar together with NTI. Alex, next slide, please. So NTI are a global platinum partner with Chaos, and we work together across 14 countries. Lee mentioned we've been working together for around 20 years in the UK, and with many of the other NTI teams across the world, we've had over 15 years of collaboration. And what really matters is our shared mission of helping clients transform their business, their workflows, digitalizing their processes, and achieving better effectiveness of their projects. Visualization as part of that is integral to NTI's end-to-end solutions and part of their offering. And NTI really enhance the overall experience for the users of the Chaos products by providing additional value, additional services such as consultancy, support, training, and more. So,
so we just have we've got a poll as well, haven't we? So if we just throw the poll question up, please, just to give Alex and Farhan a bit of an idea. If you're currently a user, which of the products are you using, or if not, then stick around. There might be some information towards the end that we'll be able to tell you about. Might be worth getting on board and joining in with the in the Chaos evolution of software. But as Ivan said there as well, I think over the last 20 years, what I've certainly noticed is pipelines have changed, but there's still an element really needed here from design professionals that all the tools that come in to help. You still need to have a really sort of switched on vision of where you want to go with this, and the tools really aid that. But this isn't replacing anyone. This is about enhancing your skill set really as well. So there we go. So bit of across the board there. So Enscape, V-Ray, yeah, some of the others, none at the moment. As I said, stick around and we'll do that one. So thanks for that. There's the poll. Bit of fairly even for you both, Alex and Farhan, on the audience here. Cool. So just quickly to what we'll run through over the next 45 minutes, 50 minutes or so. We've got Alex showing us what's new in V-Ray and the ArcViz collection, followed by Farhan with Enscape, and the Arc Design collection. We'll then have a Q&A, which, as I said, you can ask the question, in the question box down below. And then at the end as well, we'll tell you about that special offer that's exclusive. A special offer as well that we'll announce towards the end. So with that, I will hand over to Alex and let him talk to us about V-Ray.
Yes, thank you. My name is Alex. I'm currently a solution engineer here in Chaos. My previous background is from the interior design industry. I actually was working for more than 15 years, so I have pretty much a lot of experience there. And today I will lead the presentation for V-Ray specifically. For most of yours, and already V-Ray is one of the oldest, maybe the most used render engine on the market. You can notice V-Ray in a lot of different industries like AEC and ArcViz, for interior design specifically, automotive and aerospace industry. You cannot believe how many companies are using our products actually. Also for product design, e-commerce, visual effects, a lot of movies are here in the list. And I will continue with a little bit of explanation of V-Ray and the ArcViz collection. The collection includes, of course, our main product here is the V-Ray, and the other products from the collection are Vantage, Anima, the Phoenix, AI Enhancer, and the Chaos Cloud. So with the collection, you can take all the benefits from all of those products. The main products in the collection actually are V-Ray, Vantage, and Anima. And you need to keep in mind that V-Ray and Vantage are available to all of the host applications on our portfolio, like 3ds Max, Maya, all of them. And Anima is available only for 3ds Max and Cinema 4D. I will go later with a little bit more explanation about all the different products. Let's continue first with the V-Ray. Yes, V-Ray is one of the largest complete 3D rendering software on the market. It's a ray tracer. It's the quality of the V-Ray is like a photorealistic quality. You can use it not only to make visualizations, you can use it only to explore the lighting coming inside the room, or how the environment is cooperating with the lighting and everything around the project, all the reflections, the refractions of the project. It's very powerful tool. We have a lot of optimization for speed and for design seamless workflows. In this slide, you can see a final image coming from V-Ray and the quality that you can receive. As you can see, all the lighting, everything is with a photorealistic quality. Of course, it is capable to handle very large scenes, like almost entire neighborhood or very big buildings. And I will share a little bit later some of the new updates that will help you to just optimize the scenes and your workflow. We'll start with the first thing. This is nothing new specifically for the latest version, but it's something that I need to point on it. This is the white mix workflow. So with the white mix, you can save a lot of time in trying different types of whiting scenario in your scene. You just need to render one image, adjust all the whites, experiment with the different mood of the whiting of the scene. Once you're done, you can save all the settings, and then you can use the same settings for all the different cameras. So this is time saver for sure. You don't need to re-render everything, every different change of the whiting itself. As you can see, this the same image, but with different white mood in the scene. without any need of any extra render there. The next tool that is coming with the with V-Ray, it's the scatter, especially scatter clustering. With the clustering, you can save a lot of time, and there is no need for any additional third-party tools to be used in your projects. So with the clusters, these days you can just do the environment very easily, based it on a percentage combination between different clusters, or you can use a map to make the cluster groups, or to recreate some painting or something from the assets on your landscape. Also, we have a brush tool, so you can use the brush tool just to brush different areas with different assets. There's a lot of different combination of the usage of the scatter clustering, but this is something that's very useful and helping for the recreating a big, large environment around your projects. It's very useful too. As you can see, you can recreate very quickly, very easily, a lot of different scenarios from the environment. The next tool in our portfolio is the AI material generator. This is something that I can say that I was waiting for 15 years to see it on the market. Right now, just based on a single texture or a photo of a real material, you can recreate very quickly and very easily a material. You just need to place the texture there, use the smart pattern just to crop the image, and adjust it. You have a few settings for normal and roughness, and once the material is done, you will receive a ready-to-use material that will include all of the Benua map, the normal map, and the roughness map. And something cool, the material actually will be editable afterwards, so if you need to change something, you can do it. The next cool feature is the night sky. You can use the night sky right now instead of HDRs, just recreate the real night, like moon, the Milky Way, the stars on the sky. The moon has different phasing types. Actually, you can recreate the real night sky in your renders. Some of the optimizations that are coming next. This is the parallax support. Now we will have a parallax node, and also in our Cosmos library, we will be able to use different kind of parallax files. So very easily, you can use it to make your building to be looking more lifelike without need of modeling something in the different rooms or to place their 2D textures. You can use the parallax textures, which is time saver, and of course it makes a lot of optimizations of the scenes, so the scenes will not become so heavy with different models. The next improvement that is coming next is the VFB improvement. So you can use now the frame buffer just to make your final post-production. You can place in the not only to adjust the exposure settings and stuff like this, you can place PNG in your frame buffer. You can compose everything there, so there is no need to jump in a separate tool just for the post-production. With this, you can save time, of course, money. You don't need to buy any extra license on this, so it's very cool update on the frame buffer. The next thing on our site is the AI enhancer. We have it in all of our platforms. My colleague Farhan will go through a deep dive in this in the Enscape presentation, but keep in mind that we have it everywhere. Something that I can say that is the coolest feature that is coming next is the Live Vantage viewport rendering, which means it's like in the the interactive rendering, but it's using Vantage under the hood, and everything is in real time, so you can see every detail in real time directly in your viewport. So as you can see, all the changes, all the details are there. We have Gaussian spot support. Maybe some of something that you already know, but something that for sure you don't know, that we have the Gaussian spot clipping option. So you can clip your Gaussian spot, and with the next update, you will be able to change the whitening of the Gaussian spot. So you will be able to change the environment. Right now, the Gaussian spot are like with baked whitening inside the scene, but with the next update, you will be able to change the whitening of the Gaussian spot itself. This is also some very cool improvement, especially if you're recreating a very large environment around the buildings or something like this. It's time saver and, of course, hardware saver, I can say. The Next, I'll jump on the next tool from the collection. This is the Vantage. Maybe some of you already know it. The Vantage is a photo real-time visualization tool. It has a Wi-Fi connection with V-Ray and 3ds Max, so you can use it on like a live preview of everything, or just render your images. We can say that Vantage is almost 5 times faster than the V-Ray, so you can use it. Something specifically for the Vantage, it's GPU based, so you need to have a more powerful GPU for it. It's again 100% ray tracer. It can export very large scenes. It's very easy to use it. You can use it as also as a standalone tool. We have a lot of updates there, like night sky as well. The animation updates. We already support USD and Material X inside the Vantage itself, which I can say that it's crucial update. So you can export whatever file in a from different host application, and you can import in the Vantage itself, so you can use it for a compilation of different type of scenarios and files. In most cases, this is important for the M&E industry, but of course, it's also useful for the RVs industry as well. As you can see, you can use it in very different pipelines and scenarios. Like in this case, you can export something from whatever host application, go to Vantage just to combine everything and make the final renders there. The next tool in the collection is the Anima. This is a tool for populating the scene with different kinds of assets, animated ones. So we have only post, ambient, rigged, and 4D humans and smart vehicles. The 4D humans are, I can say, the most interesting here, because they are not only rigged, all the textures, all the materials on them are also animated, which means that the quality of the assets is very high. And especially for close-ups nearby the camera, they are working amazing. And also the smart vehicles are some assets that I can say that are also very smart. Actually, they are moving like real vehicles. They have active suspension, turning and spinning wheels. They are stopping automatically on front of pedestrians if there's some walkthrough. You can recreate real cross-section in your scenes, like between different roads, or you can make pedestrians to walk on green white, stopping on red white. The same is for the vehicles. They have a realistic lighting, like stop lighting and turning whites in the latest version. So I can say that this is something very powerful for the RVs industry. With the latest version, we have some vehicle enhancement. Also, we have improved, increased the vehicle library, like with more vehicles right there, so you can populate your scene with any type of different vehicles. And also some interesting update for the latest version of Anima. We now have a tagging system, which means that you can populate the scene very quickly and very easily with different type of tags inside your scene. So you can use tag like Abu Dhabi or something like this, and every asset that will be included in the generation, in the generating of the assets, it will be contain only those tags. I will share a few words here about the Corona. This is another of our tools. It's again for RVs industry. It's more easily of use. It's not so complex like V-Ray, but still has the same capabilities like fotorealistic quality. You can achieve very different and large scenes. It still has the same ray tracer functionality, so it's kind of different tool. As you can see, you can receive very high quality images. And one update about the Corona: with the latest version, the Corona now have a Wi-Fi link with the Vantage, so you can use the Vantage as a GPU render engine, and you can render your images way faster than the regular ones. It has the Wi-Fi link, and yeah, it supports everything in Corona, so you can use it for finals, very quick renders. Once again, our portfolio is containing a lot of different tools that are helping the RVs industry just to populate the scene and to to do all the job they needed. And also keep in mind that our ecosystem is fully compatible. So with the VR scene, you can combine files from Enscape to Förhöj or from Corona to Envision Vantage. All of them are fully compatible, and yeah, we have entire ecosystem that is working together. This is my last slide, so I will pass the floor to Farhan, so he will continue with the Enscape slides and presentation there.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks a lot. Hi, everybody. I'm Farhan. I'm a solutions engineer as well. I've been working with Chaos for quite some time. I'm also a designer, architect, and I work with designers to understand their workflows and help them better use our products. And today I'm going to focus on Enscape and the Arch Design Collection. So I'll just start with Enscape. So Enscape is our real-time design companion. For those of you who don't know about it or are less introduced to it, Enscape is working with all the popular CAD applications. So on the Windows side, it's ArchiCAD, Revit, Rhino, SketchUp, Vectorworks, and the same on Mac, except for Revit, we don't have it for Mac. It integrates directly inside your CAD tool. It's a plugin, so that means it's really powerful in the sense that whatever you're designing stays in the same environment and you don't have to go outside of it to create your visualization. It's easy to use. It has a very simple interface, so people who are also not so used to visualization softwares are able to adapt to it very quickly. Like I said, it's 100% integrated in your CAD tool and the real-time speed. Because everything is visualized real-time, the idea is that when you start a project from scratch, Enscape window is open throughout, and then whatever you create, whatever geometry you create, is going to be visualized real time. Here's an example of what I mean. Here, for example, a user is working in their Revit environment, and whatever they're creating, any kind of geometry, is going to be visualized real time. And when I say it's the same environment, that means not only when I add something to my CAD, it will be visible in Enscape. Also, if I add some assets or entourage directly inside Enscape, you're able to see that as a low poly model inside your Revit or whichever CAD application you use as a low poly model as well. So, like I said, it's a design companion. That means it's there for you throughout the design process, but just to highlight, you could be using it either in the initial design stages, in schematic or detailed design, also during construction phases, and then also afterwards where you have to do virtual staging to make your project look better, or you want to sell it, it's an estate project or something, or even competitions. It could be used at any stage of the design. And here are some examples where if you have a proposal or you're working on competitions, you're able to show the whole design process in a very, very comprehensive way. It could be pre-designed where you're working just with line diagrams or volumes, or it could be where you're studying the shadows of your project in its immediate context. It could also be about finding errors inside your 3D models. For example, there could be times where you create certain geometry that could be overlapping or something. So there is a series of channel IDs which could be used additionally to understand how your model is coming together. There are many different features inside Enscape, but one of the prominent ones is also collaborative annotations. What that means is that if you're working with your colleagues and you are working on certain areas of the project that you want to highlight or work on as a team, you could mark these as issues, and Enscape will save those positions as screenshots and comments, and anybody could come back to it, keep on working on it, and also mark the status of that change. Is it still in progress? Is this something we worked on? So it really helps create that constructive collaboration environment. Post-construction, of course, if we're talking about visuals, it's also about how these spaces look, what's the spatial experience like. And this is something you could really, really quickly generate using Enscape. either using the Enscape asset library and materials or also by adding your own. One of the really good features that I personally like from Enscape is that if you're sharing projects, plans, sections, elevations with prospective customers, and you want to sort of make sure that they go through the 3D even if they don't have time, you're able to create panoramas, visualize panoramas from the key locations, and with every panorama, you could generate QR codes that you could just paste on your plan and then share it with somebody. And so I can give you guys a minute if you want to scan this and see how it looks. Please go ahead, and then we can move forward with the next parts. But it's really interactive in the sense that you could just scan it with your smartphone, go inside the design, visualized view, and see how this is looking. And I would say not only for your direct customers or project owners, but also people who are working on the site, because these guys are working with 2D details a lot. So once they have this and they see how it looks, it's better to understand a certain 3D detail. Just to give you a sort of intro to what the collection looks like. So of course you have Enscape Solo, you have Premium, which has Veras with the AI features. But I'm right now trying to show the Arch Design collection where you have a series or a number of tools that are present in your Enscape dashboard, and you don't have to basically go out of this collection to do something that you're not able to do inside your CAD environment. So the idea is that we provide you all the necessary tools that you need to go throughout the design process, and you have it right there in your CAD environments. How this looks like is that, of course, I just introduced what Enscape is, but this is how the other tools are arranged. They are all present inside your Enscape dashboard. So you have Veras, which is an AI image generation tool where you could do a lot of ideation, either in the early design or in the later stages as well. You have Impact, which is a building performance analysis tool, AI enhancer. I'll talk about this a bit later. And then the cloud collaboration. So this is all present inside Enscape, and this is the main tool here. And then also additionally in the collection, you have Envision, which is a tool for animation where you could use your Enscape project to animate all those assets or geometry into, creative storytelling animations for showcasing your design better. So these are the two main products in the collection, whereas all these tools are wrapped around Enscape mostly. All right, so I'm going to start showing these tools quickly one by one so you have a better understanding what each of these tools are capable of. I'll start with Veras. Veras is an AI image generation tool, which is basically helping you in different ways. So there's the first platform, which is the web version. How the web version works is that you provide a 2D image, which could be either a hand sketch or pictures from the site. And you use that image to give some description of your design vision or write in a prompt where you describe your design, and then Veras will use that image as a base and generate an image for you showing you how the build structure could look like. This is another image where it might not just be about the building, it could also be certain parts of the design where you're focusing either on material or form or generally how things are interacting with each other. And then here's a more real world example where I have a kitchen renovation project site from pictures from the actual site. And then I could just push it to Veras and iterate on it to see how the design could look like before I actually start creating or thinking about the 3D geometry and how to present it. Veras is coming with a lot of out-of-the-box presets, which means you could immediately just push an image and ask Veras to create a physical model for you or create a more realistic image for you. So these are the visual styles, and then it helps you ideate on what the design could look like. But I think the key point here is to understand that once you generate an image that you like, the prompt that you used, you could save it as a preset under My Presets here. And then you could use it for either the same project or for other projects that you might want to use it for. Here's just a quick example that I push in a sketch into Veras, then I select an area of the sketch and I say, okay, this is my design idea. I want to see this type of materials, this type of environment. This is what I want to see as an image to understand how it could look like. And then in a matter of seconds, you have a few iterations of the design based on your base sketch or image, and you immediately understand where this is going. With the latest Veras version, we have Render Engine 7, which is Nano Banana Pro, which is really a game changer for Veras because it understands simple human language. This was an example that I was trying the other day where I wanted to use a floor plan and basically skip all the 3D process to immediately understand how the design might look like. So just out of this, I was able to create these renders, and it gave me immediately an idea of how the space could look like, and then helps me make some decisions which I could sort of, take them based on just a floor plan. The second platform where Veras is working is directly inside your CAD tool. So this could be Revit, SketchUp, ArchiCAD, Rhino, Vectorworks, or Forma as well. And here's just a preview of how my view is inside Revit. And then I used this to generate a detailed visual from Veras. Now, these were the two different platforms, but the third one, which is Veras inside Enscape, is the most powerful combination, primarily because it's firstly using your visualized view from Enscape as a base image, and then you could iterate directly on it or ideate directly on it. Why this is more powerful is because normally or typically when you're using AI image generation tools, it's using a 2D image like we saw with the web version, for example. But when it's inside of Enscape, it's actually reading all the channel IDs. So the object ID, material ID. That means it's reading your design as a 3D object and not as a 2D image. So the results are very accurate. Here's an example of what I see in my Enscape rendered view, just volumes, really at a conceptual stage. And I want to see how this design could look like if I give information of what my idea is. And then it could give me a number of ideations where I could see, okay, is this something I need to change or some small changes I need to make before I actually put in that time to create a 3D or a detailed 3D out of this. So it saves me a lot of time in many different ways. Just on the prompting part, it's essential generally to know that all the information you're providing is essentially coming from the prompt. So whatever information you give is the main decider on what kind of results you're going to get. This was my base image in Enscape, and these are some results I achieved based on this prompt, which is a really straightforward, simple prompt that I want to see an exterior shot of a utopian architecture building. But in comparison to this, if I add more details to my prompt, you could immediately see that with the same settings, I have much more details to it. So because I give that information, the materials, the style, the photography, the lights, the surroundings. So what I want to say is that you have a lot of control on what output you want to achieve, and it's all coming based off what information you provide as well. Veras also comes with a in-painting tool. That means there could be a situation that you say, okay, my Enscape render is perfect. I just need to change a few little things. So I could just mask that area and apply the prompt directly on it instead of applying it on the whole image. This goes to a next level because now you are also able to choose either by material or by object. And that's what I mean that inside your 3D, it's able to understand all these different objects inside your model. So I could pick the floor here, for example, and I could say that I want to change it to another texture. I'm able to do it depending on how I differentiated materials or objects inside my CAD environment. Here's an example where I wanted to change this complete kitchen island with the dining table for 6, for example. And once I give that prompt in simple human language, Veras is able to do that quickly for me. So it's really powerful to ideate and especially iterate for final images, for example. Veras is now coming with a video feature where you could use your base image and generate 5-second videos. This gives you a really better understanding of how the spatial experience might look like. It could use objects from your view, or it could be an empty frame and somebody just enters and interacts with your design. It could be season changes, movement of some sort, people just sitting and talking, or it could be something very conceptual where you just want to show the concept and not much of the realistic side of things. So that's what Veras is about. The next tool that we have inside Enscape is the AI Enhancer, which Alex touched briefly. The AI Enhancer is basically enhancing your image. It's really different from Veras, where you generate an image. Enhancing means it's enhancing all these entourage assets that you have inside your Enscape project. So when you're too close to a people asset, you might see that the details or the facial features are maybe not so pronounced. And so that's what it does. It makes them look more realistic, and it works also for backgrounds or the vegetation that you have in the scene. So any kind of assets is gonna enhance them and bring more realism to it. Here are just some examples on how this looks. And maybe here, this video explains a bit better on the next level for it, because now, so once you generate an AI enhanced image, it saves it to your cloud account. You always have two images to compare, the Enscape screenshot and the enhanced one. And now you're able to work on that enhanced image further. That means you could select a person in your image, and then you could enhance them further. You could change the ethnicity, the hair color, the facial expression, or even the age group. So there are many things you could do more, but the idea is to, sort of help you enhance it in a way that works better with the feel or the ambience of your render. All right, so these were the tools that I was mentioning that are integrated directly in Enscape inside your dashboard. And then the other one that I mentioned was Envision, which is a tool for storytelling and animation. Now, how Envision is working is that, firstly, it's 100% ray traced. It handles extremely large scenes, and it could compile from multiple sources. What that means is that, firstly, if you in your Enscape project at a certain stage decide, okay, I want to create an animation, you could export a VR scene and bring it to Envision and start animating it. It will include the geometry assets, the lights, materials, render settings, cameras, basically everything. So you are animation ready and you don't have to do any manual settings inside your Enscape project in Envision. And then when I say compilation from multiple sources, what that means is that there could be a scenario where I create my main architectural project or interior project or the main building in Revit, for example. And then it could be that I have my context blocks inside of SketchUp, let's say. What I could do is I could export a VR scene from these two applications through Enscape, or otherwise, we also have the Chaos Bridge. And then I could bring it inside Envision and bring them both together. So the VR scene is basically a V-Ray scene format. That also means that all the DCC tools, such as 3D Max or Maya, that are compatible with V-Ray, you could also export a scene from there, bring the geometry from there also inside Envision. So it's really powerful in terms of bringing things together. And this is a really, really cool feature that a lot of people like to use. So this is how your project could look like once you decide to start animating in Enscape. And then when you export the file, this is how it looks in Envision. That means you're ready to just start animating. I'll just show you a video now on how the final quality or the style of animation could look like as just one example. This is an Enscape project, and I use this to create this animation. And so as you see, it's really, really good quality. You have all kinds of animation styles, the vehicles, the people, even building parts you could adjust to move according to what you need to show. But depending on the level of detail, you're able to achieve this quality. So Envision is based on the same principle as Enscape, where if architects or designers are not used to advanced visualization tools, they are able to do that directly themselves inside Enscape. And the same applies for Envision, where people who are not necessarily animators are able to now create animation directly inside Envision. We also have Cosmos, which is the asset library that is used for Chaos products. Previously, Enscape had a different one. And now what we did was that the asset delivery system for every Chaos product is now Cosmos. That means you'll find the same assets in all different Chaos products, and then you could use them, and they're also compatible with each other. You have a curated collection, which is not just from the Chaos library, but also from other people who have partnered with us, other companies, and you'll be able to find those brands directly inside. And we are adding up to 30,000 more assets from specifically GoPlants and Evermotion, as people really like to use their assets as well. The AI material generator, as Alex mentioned before, is also present in Enscape as well. That means you could use a screenshot or an image from a manufacturer and immediately create a fully layered PBR material for you to use in your projects. That was pretty much it, guys. So if you have any questions, we can maybe start taking them now. Let's check the Q&A.
Thanks, guys. Really great. Yes, and listen, loads and loads of information there we've squeezed into a really short space of time. So if anyone wants to understand a bit more about any of these features or something specific that you'd like to talk about more, please reach out, and we'll look and what we can do and delve into some of these things a bit deeper with you, maybe individually or maybe on another webinar as well. So please do reach out for that. We've got a couple of questions coming in, so please do fire them in as we're going through them. First question I can see coming in is there a subscription with unlimited generations, or does it work with credits? ?
I can take this one. Thank you for the question. I guess that refers to the Veras AI tool credits. So yes, we do have the capability of Veras to render without any limitation. That's done using the render engine 6 of Veras, which is based on Stable Diffusion. We also have the mentioned render engine 7, which is the one based on Nano Banana. It does require credits to render, and we have different credit packs as part of Enscape Premium and our design collection, but we also now offer additional AI Creative Boost packs if you need more credits to render with Nano Banana and Veras. And definitely reach out to NTI to see what the best options for your needs are.
Cool. Thank you, Ivan. We've got a couple of other ones. Sigfus asked, is it possible to get a full active trial to Veras without having any Chaos license? Obviously, the answer is yes.
Absolutely. You can receive Veras only evaluation license or trial license, and NTI can help with that, which you can use directly with your CAD or BIM application, be it Revit, SketchUp, or any other platform. You can also use the web standalone version using such a trial license. But of course, you can also get a trial license for the Arc Design Collection, where you can test Veras, but also test Enscape and Veras in one workflow.
Cool. Thanks, Ivan. Does it work with AutoCAD?
Now, the Chaos tools are not by default compatible with AutoCAD. We don't have active integrations for AutoCAD. But as Farhan mentioned, with the web standalone tool of Veras, there's a brand new workflow that we are unfolding here, where you can take your AutoCAD 2D drawings and turn them into 3D with really spectacular results. So you can definitely test using Veras with AutoCAD. Any thoughts on this, Farhan, in addition to what I mentioned?
Yeah, I would just like to say that the results you are getting are also in the form of an image. So whatever image you provide, it could be a floor plan or it could be an elevation or a sketch or whatever. Of course, you're able to upload also on the web version OBJ files if you're able to export that from AutoCAD, for example. You could upload those there, but direct integrations are not available for AutoCAD. You can use it on the web version. Um, there's one integration for Veras with Autodesk Forma. So if you're using that, you'll also be able to use it directly there as well.
Cool. Thanks, Farhan. There's another question that got answered. Alex answered it online, but are there any plans to make integration to Bentley Open Roads available in the near future? No, I think that's future stuff. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen in the future? I think is probably the best way to to say that. They're always looking at where they can create different integrations. Let's put it that way. And we'll just have to wait and see if that comes along. But good question. And there's another one coming as well. Can we use an image of existing situation with Veras combined with a design on Revit, for example, render an extension of an existing building? Farhan, is that you?
Yeah, so how Veras is working is that it's using base image to work on or iterate on. So if you are, for example, using Enscape or Revit and using that as a base image, of course, then it's that case. But if you want to add image of your own inside of Veras and in Revit or Enscape, you are able to manually upload that image and work on it. But if you want to combine these two, that could be a little tricky. There's no direct workflow to do that, but you have the new reference image feature in Veras, which means that you could be using the base image from Revit, and then you could provide a reference image to combine them both. And this really depends on what your idea is, how you want to do it, and then how the AI understands it. But in general, yes, in this way, you are able to combine the two different images.
Cool. Thank you. Another one I'll stick with this. This is more about security, I guess, more than anything else. Francesca's asked, she's working with high security projects and need to be able to know how, where models' data will be shared before you can start using certain products. This, I guess, is a little bit, and especially around that AI concept, is indemnification stuff as well. So where are Chaos sitting at the moment with where they're getting influence from some of their AI tools? Where does that sit around some of this? And then, of course, then where is then any physical data that is stored in the cloud? Where's that stored from a security point of view as well?
Yes, and in addition to that, I've in response to that question, I've added the link to our webpage for our responsible AI policy. We've listed there all the practices and info we're using in our AI tools. So definitely check this out, Francesca. Of course, we're also available if you have any further questions. We'd be glad to answer those.
And then Fabrizio, AI tools are very interesting, but it's difficult to calculate the costs. I guess that's true if you're using credits and creating iterations, left, right, and center. Again, it's about how you take advantage and use these tools rather than just create umpteen revisions just for the sake of it as well, I think. So it's often off there. It's followed up with the second question as well about Nano Banana is frequently blocked by company policies. Are you coming across this much with others?
Thank you for this feedback. We'd like to hear more about it. So definitely reach out and we'd like to discuss that. In terms of calculating costs, I'd really encourage you to take a test license for Veras. It includes 200 credits, and you will be able to test Veras, render images, see how much credits it takes for your needs. And based on that, you'll be able to have an estimation of the costs. But again, when speaking with AI, what we also need to consider is the time saving that it brings and the costs that are saved in that way. So it's really about trying it out and see if it works for your specific needs.
Cool, thank you. I think we've done all the questions. Can we just flick over? So we did promise you a surprise announcement, exclusive announcement on that special offer. So starting next week for 2 weeks, we will be running a 15% saving on Enscape, V-Ray and the collections. This is not to be announced anywhere else yet until Monday. So from Monday that's available. So if you are in the market for any of the Chaos tools, then please reach out to your account manager, to me, and from Monday we'll be able to offer those that pricing for you on any new seats that you may be after. Thank you very much. With that, I guess we'll wrap up. We've got give me a final time to say thank you to Alex, Farhan and Ivan for spending their time with us. And remember, as I said, we've seen a huge amount of information in a very short space of time. So if there is anything else that you want to see more of or learn more of or understand more of, then please reach out to your account managers or to me, and we will endeavour to do our best to make that happen for you. And with that, I will say goodbye for now and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you very much.